Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for the Best of Branded Content, the Lightning Rounds, brought to you by our sponsor, Social News Desk. We have some more experts in the field of branded content for you today. We have Louisa and Anna from Entravision, who are here to talk a little bit about their branded content initiatives and all the things that they've been learning as part of the Branded Content Project. Hello, how are both of you today?
Doing great, doing fantastic, excited about, talking about all the evolution that we have in branded content.
Hi, Julia. Nice to be here.
Thank you guys both for joining us. And you guys have been on quite the journey for branded content. And you were actually one of our award winners for LMA's Best of Branded Content with your previous branding and initiatives that you had going. Why don't you talk a little bit about kind of where you've been with branded content and really what you guys see as the three different areas of branded content. Let's start there.
So we started branded content like 3 years ago, and basically we saw a need of like marry clients with verticals that we already produce content on the news. So for example, we have verticals for entertainment, for health, for jobs, and for every kind of vertical that, that is associated with the regular broadcast advertising clients. And that's how we start putting branded content tools. We talked to Facebook about what was the guidelines, what was permitted, because usually people think, and mostly the salespeople think that producing branded content is very hard because, you have all these restrictions and we don't have the power to do anything that we want in social media per se. So we create these guidelines so we'll be okay and we don't have any problem with it. Anita, what else you can say about the verticals and anything that we did at the beginning?
Yeah, we start with 5 different verticals that we can merge different type of clients, like salud, that is health, work, businesses, entertainment. So at the beginning, we would try to put different kind of clients on these brands, sub-brands under Noticias Ya. But I think we're gonna tell you later because we evolved those 3 sub-brands and we just become one under Juntos.
So basically that transition that Anita was telling you, it was because we have a disconnection. Our online brand is Noticias Ya, and our on-air or broadcast brand was Univision. So it's hard for somebody that is, used to watch broadcast, look at Univision, and then out of the sudden, you start talking about Noticias Ya, so they didn't know. So we create a whole campaign that was actually at the beginning of this year that we find this branding that it was perfect because of 2 things. First, because the moment that we're living in the country, the pandemic, so juntos means together, we're together, moving forward. That was one of the things that we love about this branding. And the second thing, it was just the way to put juntos or together Noticias Ya and our Univision branding. So that was a solution for 2 big problems that we had. And that way it was easier for our salespeople to embrace that branding, and just instead of talking about different things, everything was living in the house of juntos or together.
Such a brilliant idea just to kind of bring all this together, and it was beautiful branding and just a beautiful look to everything you're doing. But there's a huge piece to this that you guys tackled with part of this is because we know that the education piece on the staff side is a huge barrier sometimes for really getting branded content initiatives scaled and really to increase that revenue. And you guys did an incredible rollout just as far as internal conversations you had with the team. So can you explain a little bit about how you guys went and approached each individual team and really rolled out the Juntos brand for the entire company?
So first of all, we gotta say thank you to you, Julia, because you been our mentor. So we decide, when we joined the project, we knew that we needed to bring more people to the project than only the content. So we brought people from different parts of the company. We pick a market. That was the first thing because we're very complex. We have markets around United States, mostly through the border markets. So we knew we just pick one. Then from there, we have to pick people from that market that they're familiar with the clients and they also know digital. So we pick somebody like a regular salesperson, but also a digital salesperson. And in the corporate side, we also have their bosses involved in the process. So it's not only the content team going through the project, but also other areas in the company that it needed to be involved in order to be successful. So we were really organized how we're deploying each of the stage or the development. So we meet with this group weekly in order to like create the presentation, create the videos, and just actually telling the story. Because about branded content, we've been doing branded content for a long time. If we wanna like think about it, it's just how you jump to social media or to the digital side, where it's like the disconnection. They think that everything in digital is for free, and I don't think so. It's not for free. Like you get bigger engagement. Like how you sell that idea to the client. No, first of all, you gotta do the training with the sellers, and then with the clients, because they're also like, what do you mean? What we have to do? So that was basically, but Anita can probably comment more in the deployment and how we organize everything with everybody else in the company.
Yeah, so as Lisa was saying, we create this like branded content internal team with marketing, sales, social media, executions, designers, and we have this meeting and we discuss about client needs, what we also can produce, what we are already doing that we can repurpose as branded content. So we had like this meeting for like a year now, and we finally create a deck for branded content. And as soon as we have the deck with the designers, we put all the pieces together with the editors team. And as soon as we have this one, we create like trainings for the salespeople. How is branded content? What is benefits for the clients to buy branded content with Noticias Ya, Juntos, Univision, the benefits. So we try to explain them like each piece that we create to the sales team first. Then we went for the executions teams, because on our markets, we have like sales, but we also have like the person that really execute the tickets. So how we gonna do the workflow that all people that is involved on that workflows understand what was like our goal. And it's been like a challenge process, but I think we've been doing well. We have like these weekly meetings. I have calls from the local market asking questions about, is this branded content? Or can we produce branded content for this brand? Or how we put the tickets? How much do we charge? So it's been like a learning process for everybody, I guess. But I think like if we compare ourselves from like 3 years ago, we're being really successful. We just need to keep working on it.
So, going in the same evolution, so we decide to divide the branded content in 3 like big buckets. One is the sponsored content. That's usually like broadcast is very like used to this type of a sell product, for just for a lack of a better word. But basically, if you have the weather, you can have a logo of a client sponsoring the weather. But also you can do that in Facebook Live if you want to. So like how to move those sponsorship that we already do on TV, how we can move it to digital in the website and in social media. So that's very straightforward. A sponsor, just put a logo. The second, the custom content. That's where we play the best role, because we gotta make understand the clients that the success that we have is because a brand association. The first thing they're gonna ask you, oh, so how many views or how many likes the video has? No, this is not about video views or likes or anything like that. This is about engagement, a brand association. You're with me, so your brand is gonna be successful because you're partnering with me. This is a partnership. And how we grow this partnership, so in the custom content, that's where we elaborate more. We put our thinkers like, okay, so what is your content about? And then we can associate it with this type of event that we're doing in the news. So there's like multiple ways to do custom content. And the last one, this one is advertorial content. The source of the information comes from the client directly. So basically you just, lending giving them the platform to distribute the content that looks like your content, but it's all about the client. So those are the 3 buckets that we have, and we produce content or branded content for our clients.
Massive undertaking, just honestly educating all this staff and rolling out all these pieces. I know you guys went from really even the billing process all the way through the implementation process and really, to where you're going to be able to launch and bring on new clients and new revenue. How's everybody receiving it so far? How is the success rate looking? And I know that things are everyone's very excited about it at the station level.
I think they're like, I take this 50-50. 50% because we're living in a difficult moment of and selling and trying to reinvent and how we capture clients, how the behavior of the consumer too, because the consumer is not going out, is not consuming like the normal that we see. So hopefully if we're like in a different time, probably will be more successful. But it's been a little bit of a challenge, to tell you the truth, Julia, because of that. But the other thing is just understanding the concept.
It's a hard time for the sales, but it's also a good time for us as news producers because the community has a lot of needs to know. So we can do branded content around health, the COVID, the help that the government is giving to the small businesses. So there is like a window that we can produce content on TV and on social media being branded content around all the COVID information that we have.
And that's what we did like initially, but just finding clients right away or going through like talking to each of the markets, everybody has different challenges. We have a model like hub and spoke market. So hubs are the markets that we have the most people, they're the center of production of content. So it's the small markets that we don't have that many resources that they're trying to see, okay, how we can integrate this to our market or how this client will play in this type of like content that you're producing. So in that sense, being very successful. And the other thing that I like about the whole project, and this is the most important thing, you have to have your salesperson or your sales manager or the person in charge of the revenue of the company of making sales goals. It needs to be like lay out like, okay, how we're gonna get there? Because if you present this and you don't have a goal or you don't have like a commitment from this local sales, you're not gonna grow because it's difficult. It's not, I don't wanna say it's difficult, but it is. And it requires people to see it, understand it, and that way they can sell it. Otherwise, it's not gonna be successful.
Such great advice, because it's absolutely true, is that, you know, it's worth the effort, right? So, you know, it's just a matter of like, you got to put in the work ahead of time, which you guys have absolutely done. And then the payoff is later. So it's just a matter of everyone, you know, kind of embracing it a little bit.
Correct. And I think organization is also a key in this process, like, you know, covering all your bases. It makes this process like run smoothly per se, but at the same time, I think it's organization and education, educating all your workforce, like in branded content.
Okay, so if, you know, this is definitely a large undertaking, but if, you know, we're going to have people out there listening and they're thinking, I don't even know where to get started. So what would you guys suggest to people who are just getting started? You know, what should they do first if they're going to start something, branded content initiative for their organization?
So first they have to look what kind of content they offer. Like what is the production of what kind, like if you're on TV or you do a newscast or you a print newspaper. So first, you know, pick your content. Second, like have a meeting with the sales team and the marketing team. If you know your company is big enough, or like, you know, you have to have that first meeting with the sales team and tell them, look, we have this is branded content, and we have this type of content that you can maybe sponsor, or maybe you can do custom. So first you have to find that, and then you have to define what is going to be your branding moving forward for that branded content. Like, where are you going to shelter all your content in order for your client to understand your offerings?
Anna, what would you suggest for folks? I know you've been heavy on the logistics side and just the implementation side.
I think it's like, for me, one of the first steps is, like Luisa saying, having a conversation with the sales team, but I will say asking them what they need, like what they need to sell. What are the clients asking them that they want to? Because I think the branded content universe is so big, so we can create whatever the client needs on their branded content. We just need to find the way to sell it good, in our case related to news. But I think the conversation, because having that relation with the sales team sometimes is hard, is like, ask them, okay, what do you need to sell? What people are asking for? What are the clients that you have? That way we know what can create for them. It's not just selling like, hey, we have this project or we have this campaign. It's like, okay, what do you need? And then we start like the conversation from there, because we're like the creative part of the company. So we can provide solutions to them and the clients.
So Anita touched a really good point, and it's like we don't know what was fair, like the chicken or the egg. Here is like the same type of concept, because we find that when we put the product in front of them, oh, that's what we don't need that.
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work. So it's better like getting first the client, and we advise that before this salesperson go to the client, talk to your content team. You have to make a plan before you go there. And one of the things that we do is we do demos. We do like a simple demo so the client visually can understand it. Because if you sit with a deck of, I don't know, 20 pages and you go, by then the client, what, branded content? No, you go, it's straight what the client needs are, and you do that having a previous like phone call with the client. Oh yeah, so what are your needs? They make, you know, a list of all the needs that they have, and then you come with the content team, tell us all the insights about like the client, what they're looking for, what the you know, the target or their goal is with, you know, I don't know, it can be engagement, it can be phone calls, it can be driving people to the location. What is that goal? And after that, we can say, okay, here's a solution, and we're gonna send you with these samples so the client can understand better how we can make that happen for them.
Such amazing advice and guidance. Thank you guys both for really sharing all of this, you know, important ideas and honestly, what you guys have learned through the process. Just absolutely appreciate all you guys are doing, and please thank the team for us as well.
No, we're really excited all the time that we have this opportunity for more people. The more people that join this type of branded content, I think we're just gonna start like knocking down that wall of like how to monetize digital and social media.
Absolutely. So, you know, thank you again to Luisa and Ana from Entravision. Thank you to Social News Desk as our sponsor. And of course, thank you to the LMA, LMC, and the Facebook Journalism Project for really building the branded content project and bringing all these folks together. So appreciate all of you guys, and thank you guys both for being here.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Bye.